Never. It's never. Hey,
Uh,
Tasha, how are you?
Girl, I'm tired.
Girl, I know it. Appreciate you being honest here. Because
I'm
I'm
tired.
tired. Whew, I mean, even though we had a great AQ summit last week, we did. We had a very active AQ summit last week. For some reason, the body ain't quite caught us. It's been a long week as well. So far, it's been a long week. You
It
know.
has been a long week. I'm looking forward to the weekend, although I'm busy this weekend, right? But yeah, uh, I'm looking forward to. I think mentally being able to disconnect a little bit, just a little bit. I mean, I
Yeah.
have work to do this weekend, but I just need a few hours. I'm
There
tired.
you go. I understand. So listen, for those joining in, thank you. Tonight, we are talking about 3 things to do alone at night, right? So please jump in with comments, with thoughts about things that you believe you can do at home alone at night. But Tasha and I have really been thinking about this stuff. And Tasha, what would you say led to this sort of topic, this topic?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
was you.
It was me?
This is your idea.
It was?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think there are things I think that we do in our lives that we like to share, and we were looking for creative ways to share some things that we like.
Well, I would also say that you and I are very much as we are really thinking about the good things that are happening in our lives and the blessings that are going on in our lives. Uh oh, hey, Gangsta E. Get your few hours, girl. Yes, honey, get your few hours.
I am.
But as we appreciate the blessings in our life. We had a great time at the AQ Summit. More will come as a result of that. We have a lot on our plate, and we're also planning for our future, right? Because we're not ones to just kind of sit on our laurels, right? And so we have been thinking about what we want to come next for us.
Yeah. And in that space, right? Some of the things I think that we practice in order to receive and to hear amongst the busyness
Yeah.
and the bustle and the hustle um, is quiet.
Yeah. Right. And so you and I both feel like we have, well, I'll speak for myself. I certainly feel like I'm going through a transition of things. I feel like there's a lot of energy around me. I think I've been very overwhelmed with a lot of things probably over the last several months. And I'm like, it's going somewhere. It's got to. It's
And,
got to be
and
going
I
somewhere.
can speak, from a accountability partner standpoint, watching you a couple months ago when our first newsletter came out and we talked about the meditation. You had a huge shift in your meditation. I think, in what we were sharing, we also learned. And I've seen the difference that meditation has made for you.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm excited about, what's next in the space of
Oh, see, that's why you have an accountability partner, because people can speak life into you, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. I think meditation was good, is good, and then I think I've gotten off and I'm like trying to get
yeah,
back on, right? And I do feel the difference. So I'm like, oh dang, what they be talking about is real. Like, oh snap.
right.
All right, so when we're talking about 3 things to do at Lone Night, we're talking about things, get your mind out the gutter, right? What we're talking about is what are those things that you can do to sort of get you where you're trying to go, whatever that vision is for your life, whatever that vision you have for yourself, for your relationships, for your lifestyle, for your health,
Yeah.
for your spiritual journey, because
Yeah.
I don't know what I just said that first time, right? Like, what is your vision?
Yeah. So for me, definitely prayer has been powerful for me. And I don't mean to say that like in a cliche-ish type of way, but when I'm very specific about what I pray for, and I'm open, from a conversational standpoint to ask questions and wait for the answers. I definitely see a difference, right? And
Mhm.
so one of the things that I've been working on is more of the listening, right? Which is the meditation portion of it, I think. And it's different for everybody,
Yeah.
right? I've tried a couple of different ways and I'm still trying to find the best way for me.
Yeah.
Because listen, when I stop, I'm going to sleep.
Yes, right. Well, meditation puts you straight to sleep.
Done. Done. I mean, it's so bad that I can't even get through the one that we listen to YouTube at night sometimes. Like I'll be like, ooh, a minute and 30 seconds, 2 minutes in, I'll be like, ooh, child.
Meanwhile, I'm the one who will listen to, like, there's a meditation that we listen to, Dr. Wayne Dyer, right? And I can listen to that probably about 4 or 5 times,
Oh
despite
my
the fact
gosh,
that I heard it.
really?
Yeah.
Whoo! I can't get through one. Listen, it's Gangsta E's fault, right? I'm conditioned when my body hits the bed to go to sleep because that's what you do in the bed. You go to sleep, right? I don't do anything else in the bed but sleep. I can't read in the bed. I can't write in the bed. I can't check my email in the bed. I go to sleep. That's it.
And so I will listen to that meditation. It's really good because I have felt the difference of that meditation. And it's just kind of a loop that just reminds you that you just have to let some things go, right? And that it will all be taken care of. We'll have to share the link to that. We'll have
Yeah.
to do that one time.
Listen, what I will say about it is it does turn it off. Even if I don't listen to the whole thing, it is the last thing that I've listened to before I go to sleep. And so my subconscious is able to, move in that wave for the next 7 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably listened to about a good 3 or 4, if not more times. And that's after doing just the quiet meditation for about 15 minutes on the Balance app. So I'll do the 15 minutes, like last night, I did 15 minutes on the Balance app, and then I listened to the meditation a couple of times. And
Ooh, girl, you are just, the poster child for the things to do at night. I'm a work in progress. Okay.
right. But, right. And so we believe praying is a great thing to do, meditating and
Yeah.
trying to get to visualizing. But then, of course, the last thing that we think is important to do is manifesting, right? So, our 3 things we're talking about is praying, meditating, and manifesting. And you just told me a great story about manifesting.
Yeah. So I was listening to Will Smith's interview today. He's talking about King Richard that's coming out tomorrow,
I'll
right?
see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it too. But I don't know much about Venus and Serena's father, but the story goes that he wrote the 78-page document about these 2 girls that he was going to make into the tennis stars of the world. And he presented it to his wife and said, "We need to have 2 more kids, and this is the plan for their life." That
Wow.
is like the ultimate manifestation, right? And so from day one, he was pouring in, right? Working his plan and he manifested it. I mean, they are living proof of that 78-page document.
Well, and let's just take it a step further, right? He didn't just have a vision. This man wholeheartedly believed it,
Oh, yeah.
like inside out. And it didn't matter what the world was saying about him, about his kids, about their opportunities,
Yeah.
about whether or not they deserved it, whether or not they were capable. He did not care. If the whole Wimbledon was booing, and they have,
Yeah.
he didn't care,
And you
and
know
he
what
instilled
they
that.
said from a support perspective, it was the family. Like they were a unit. And his mom, I mean, their mother supported him wholeheartedly, and the family they all rallied around and they were a unit. And it's like, it's the thing that we talk about in accountability, right? Having that support, right? And going further together.
Right.
Yeah. um Nan says, have you tried meditating without aid?
I have, as I think about it, I have, but that's the one that makes me fall asleep. Remember, I would say in the morning, I would try meditating.
Yeah.
Remember?
Okay, girl, you meditating or you fall back asleep.
Have you like so Nan, great question. I would try meditating in the morning about 6 o'clock. And I don't know how reliable that was or how well that connected with me. I mean, it
Yeah.
connected in a way. I just don't know how impactful because I was in and out of sleep.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's different strokes for different folks, and it's all about, what you've been exposed to,
Yeah.
and and what works for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guided meditation definitely works for me, right? I'm a fan of Jay Shetty. During the pandemic, he did, different types of guided meditation. There's even one for my kids that I, sit them down on the floor and, they listen to this guided
Mhm.
meditation. They do it.
Mhm.
Nan said, "You mean you never found yourself in a handstand?"
Girl, I might have found myself with my mouth wide open on that pillow, but not no, not quite the handstand one. But I think to your point, like just going back to Venus and Serena, Venus and Serena's father. I mean, I've heard stories about him. I'm looking forward to the movie.
Yeah,
But and he did that, and I understand like he did, he doesn't have teeth in his mouth or he doesn't have the best grill. But I also understand he did that intentionally, right? And it's my understanding. It was a conversation I was having with a friend of mine who read his book about all the things he did intentionally. What did Nan say? Nan said, I almost fell off the bed.
she over there laughing. I think it's going to be a really great movie.
Yeah.
The younger sister was on set every day for authenticity. And Venus and Serena said they would not put their names on the movie as executive producers until they saw it. So they approved.
Wow.
Yeah. So he had to go through and make it, right? That sister was on set every day. And after they saw it, then they were like, yeah, okay, we'll put our name on it.
Wow. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
But also, let's just look at something else. They maintain their family unit or their support of one another. Listen, Venus and Serena's parents got divorced. They suffered great tragedy in their family,
Yeah.
losing a sibling.
Yep.
And they continue to, I mean, there's nothing like having support like that. And that's what we always talk about with accountability, right? It is that support. It is that having someone, well, we always say you can go further together than you can by yourself. And even Venus and Serena having each other, like, because no one was going through what they were going through together.
Right. And it's a choice that you make every day, right?
Yeah.
Just because your family is there doesn't mean that those are going to be the people that support you, right? I think
Right.
you and I are blessed in that we do have very supportive families, but that's not
Yes.
the case for everyone. And so, accountability queens are here to support you.
We absolutely are. And so the three things that we want to remind everyone that they can do, no cost for themselves, but
Yeah.
start. And as we're going into this new year, right? I think we all kind of get reflective. Now is the time to reflect,
Yeah.
right? And Tasha and I are always talking about what is the life that you want to live? What is it that you want to experience? Listen, we said we were doing this AQ summit. I said I want to go hot air balloon. I just seen it. I want to do it.
Done and done. Right? It happened.
Done and done. Check out the pictures. I got more coming. Right? And it was incredible. I never thought that we'd be going up in the air with 19 people?
Yeah.
Right? And then to add on to that, we had a champagne breakfast in the desert. Check out the video on Instagram. You see Tasha.
Food over my shoulder. Crazy, right?
Right. I mean, it was just done and done. Once we decided, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this,
Yeah.
let's go.
One of the things I do want to add about the manifestation, and yeah, I feel like it's something that God has definitely been working with me on just constantly, but I know the power of it, and we talk about the power of writing in our course. So
Yeah.
you will be happy to know
Okay.
that I not a writer like that,
Right.
but the tactile energy and actually writing something down, because oftentimes we'll type our goals up, the document is there, sometimes I print it out and write on it, but I started this journal. You don't have to wait until January 1st to start anything, right? You
No.
start, what does Oprah say? Is today one day, or is today your day one? Something like that, right? So
Right.
anyway, from a manifestation standpoint, my 78-page document, right?
So here's what I'm going to ask, right? Because I have one, and this is very interesting because this is what I was thinking about in my meditation last night. I know I need to add more journaling to it, right? I have a journal. It's been sitting out next to my bed. As my accountability partner, I'm going to ask you to hold me accountable to at least journal 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah. And journaling, I do want to add, journaling is different for different people, right?
It is.
Because I'm just going to write out, I'm not writing in sentences, right? For me, I'm plopping down like a thought or a sentence or a word, right? That for me is getting it out and putting it on paper, and
Well, I will share something with you that a good friend shared with me when I was like, I'm not sure what my future looks like. I'm not sure. Like, I've got ideas. I don't. And she said, write it down. If
Yeah.
you start writing, it will all start pouring out. And I found that to be very, very powerful, right? That it helped me to manifest and visualize what it is I wanted to see and what that looked like. So starting to ask yourself, like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How does that make you feel if you were to have this thing that you're looking for? Just going through that entire process is very helpful. And to your point, I know the power of manifestation. I remember being probably in high school. I want to say I was definitely in high school, and I was sitting on Danae's porch. Danae's never going to remember this. So Danae, when you watch this, you're not going to remember this. But I remember thinking and having a conversation that I wanted to be the youngest person at the executive table. I wanted to be in television. I wanted to be the youngest person at the executive table. And I think I was probably 24.
Yeah.
And I was. It wasn't something I put a whole lot of energy on. It wasn't something I put a whole lot of time, and I didn't make myself. And they really talk about that being the power of manifestation,
Right?
Is to set it and move on.
Yep. Yeah.
And it worked out that way.
Yeah. We've definitely seen that, right? So I'm looking forward to just more concerted focus on the 3 of them together, because I feel like that's multiplicative, right? Exponential.
You said multiplicative.
That was the word that came to my mind. It's going to take more for me to try and think of a different word than to just say what I meant.
She said multiplicative.
Siobhan always gets on me like for using these 3 and 4 syllable words, and I'm like, well, she's like, is that what really people really think? It's, well, those are the words that come into my mind. Sorry. What's the other word?
A lot.
That's a lot together. Yeah. So
no, the word a lot was just a lot more. It was an easier, accessible word.
Anyway, so I'm looking forward to having more with the 3, pieces together, however you want to say it.
Listen, multiplicative. Hey, I love it.
Funny.
All right. I mean, but here's what I'm going to say. We're going to wrap this up. Also, what I'd like to say is that let's challenge each other, and let's challenge everyone who's watching us to be more aspirational, right?
Yeah.
Let's push our vision further. Like, as we practice this praying, meditating, and manifesting, I'm asking everyone who's watching this to join in with us and kind of see how we're doing with it and see how you're doing with it. let's go beyond our aspirations. Let's push it even further and see what's the worst that can happen. We'll
Yeah,
get even better. We'll be even more.
I like
We'll
it.
have more of more. I'm here for more of more.
I'm here for more of more.
All right.
I
Well,
will hold
Tasha,
you accountable.
that is going to do it for us tonight. As always, we want to thank you for joining us, the Accountability Queens. You can follow us on social media. If you're watching us right now, at the Accountability Queens on Facebook, accountability_queens on Instagram. You can also always go to our website, the Accountability Queens. And if you're looking for a partner,
Holla at your girls.
come check us out. All right, contact us on our website.
All right,
Thank
have a
you,
good night.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.